At Texas A&M, talents are on display every day. But on a campus of around 90,000 students, faculty, and staff, not all of those talents are visible. These are the stories of the campus jobs you don't see and the people that do them. This is Unsung Talents on KAMU. These sounds are familiar to nearly every Aggie who's traversed campus since the 1980s. The Aggie Spirit now runs 19 routes.
Approaching Asbury Water Tower, Wayner, Vic School, MSC.
With 70 buses and 400 drivers ferrying more than 6 million people a year and traveling nearly 2 million miles. And it's mostly students, always has been, always will be, that keep the wheels turning. Students who normally drive Nissans and Fords and Hondas and Chevys, and not 14-ton, 40-foot-long buses.
When I was first in training, I remember going back to my car to drive home and just seeing that stark difference.
The wheel turns a ton. I got in my truck after we were done training, and I turned my wheel a bunch and actually went past the normal amount you're allowed to do it.
It never really fazed me. It was different.
It's really challenging, but it's fun too.
The training program is so well planned out that I felt very, very comfortable by the time I got in the driver's seat.
Everyone sees the drivers, but they rarely see the behind-the-scenes team of trainers that act as teachers, cheerleaders, safety advocates, and more. Patrick Clement oversees transit training.
I have this, belief that pretty much anybody can be taught to drive the bus. I really don't think nobody can.
Students undergo rigorous training and must earn a Class B CDL license before they can take on passengers. That test is after weeks of one-on-one driver training, and that's after a month or more of computer learning. Students learn how and when to turn the 40-foot bus.
They have to understand that if they don't get the back wheels around an object, they're going to have a bad day.
They learn to use turn signals placed at their feet.
They get used to it, and they start trying to do it in their own car.
They learn how to parallel park.
That's the number one thing they're scared of.
And they learn backing skills.
Surprisingly, backing up in a straight line is usually one of the harder ones they have. And we're like, hey, see, parallel park wasn't so bad.
If everything goes well, drivers begin running mock routes within a few days. That's where I joined trainer Scotty Johnson.
Yes, sir, just like that.
And student driver Joseph Manna.
6:49 to dispatch.
On day 4 of his driving training.
We always do 5 miles under the speed limit anytime on campus. Remember, we're going to be closing off our bike lane up here, and we're going to be taking a right at this stop sign.
Okay. Is that too far from?
Yeah, the ideal would be about this much right there, about a foot, no more than that.
Day 1 was a bit of a learning curve, but after that, I feel like I was able to get most of the basics out. Now it's just about cleaning up turns and all that stuff now.
But when taking a left, I want to use everything over to my right, so I would come over this way more, use all this, and what that does is give you maximum room on your back end.
It's been the highlight of my day. I've been looking forward to coming and driving and just getting to learn new things. It's nice to be able to meet all the different trainers and kind of get their different inputs on what I can do better.
Heck yeah, dude, that was great, man. Perfect. I think they're right where you need to be for day 4. Awesome.
It takes 2 to 3 months for a driver to get out on their own. I asked trainer Mark Rodriguez about important characteristics for trainers.
I think one of the most important is just having patience, recognizing how do they learn, what is the best way that they pick up, and adjusting yourself to it.
He's impressed with the dedication their students demonstrate.
It takes a lot of focus to be able to drive a bus and then to go run a route and then just immediately, end your shift and go straight to class. I get a great sense of accomplishment just seeing, the student driver out on the road, knowing, just a few short months ago we were just teaching them how to turn the bus on.
Back with training coordinator Patrick Clement, I asked what makes him so passionate about the job.
I have a stake in making sure they pass because they're already doing something that's difficult. When we had challenging students, I would try to figure out why can't they do this, right? Or I would just try to inundate them with, positive vibes and be like, hey, I know today was terrible, but tomorrow's going to be better. You're going to go home, get some sleep. Your brain will do some hardwiring. You come back tomorrow, you'll be better.
So next time you board or pass an Aggie Spirit bus, remember how dedicated the drivers are, but also remember how dedicated the trainers are to their success.
It's a brave new world, and Even if maybe you spent the last 4 hours telling them to stay out of the bike lane, you're still going to keep telling them.
For KAMU, I'm Christian Hamilton.